going on, people? It's your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. So today we're going to talk about based on all the moves that the Falcons have made this year. What direction you think that you guys think they're going to make in the draft? Based on all these moves, what direction? Are they trying to give us some kind of hint? We're going to talk about that today. Definitely want to know what you guys think, and I'm going to give you my opinion as well. So before we get into the topic, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys really like to hear what I talk about. And then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. All right, so before we get on top of the day, we're going to talk about a couple of signings that the Falcons made. Well, they actually just made the official signing for Rashaan Evans today. We already said what he was going to bring to the table. He's definitely going to probably be vying for that starting linebacker role or a great depth piece either way. But we know Rashaan Evans is going to play a major role this year on the Falcons teams. And they also signed, yes, another Chicago Bear. That connection, of course, with Ryan Pace bringing him in, it's paying off. But Germain Ifedi coming in, played with the Chicago Bears in 2020, where he started all 16 games. He played 6 at right tackle, then he played the other 10 at right guard. He came last year. He didn't get activated till like December, so he didn't play a lot of snaps last year. But of course, he was another free agent that we brought in on a 1-year deal, a former first-round pick, just like Rashaan Evans as well. So, like I said, guys, the Falcons are getting some values for these 1-year deals. And I know a lot of people keep talking about we just pulling guys from the Titans and Chicago Bears. That's fine because, guys, make no mistake, this year is not really about bringing in guys for the long haul. Just to make this team competitive this year, and hopefully you can get still some gems with some of these guys that you signed. But next year is what it's going to be all about, because we're going to have all that money in the salary cap. So this year is about just trying to make this team the most competitive teams it can be, and see what happened with that. But next year, we're going to try to make our money, guys, because that salary cap is going to be right where we need to be. We should be in the sweet spot. So that's what we're trying to do. Now they have brought in 21 guys. And of course, I'm including the guys we had on the team last year that re-signed, that was free agents. But 21 players come to a team. That's a lot of movement for a team. So it's a lot of new faces coming in, and trying to be competitive. And we're going to see what these guys are going to be made of with this new look Falcons. It's definitely a new look because, like I said, guys, you know, we lost our franchise quarterback from the last 14 years. So we definitely looking at a different look this year with these guys. But besides that, I want to welcome Germain Ifedi to the team. Of course, Rashaan Evans, Demir Bird, all those guys. Look, they finally signed. Curious to see, are they done yet? We still need to figure out the cap, because looking over the cap right now, it look like they don't really have none of those guys numbers in there to kind of know what kind of cap space we got. So we just got to wait on that to actually find out if they even have any more cap space to actually sign anybody. But we'll just have to wait to see with that. But let's go and get into the topic today. So the topic is, based on all these moves that they have made, are they kind of showing their hand what position they could be looking for? I'm just going to lay out some of the things that I think. You can guys let me know if you agree or disagree with me. But so from offensive line standpoint, they created a lot of depth for offensive line. We knew that was one of our issues we had last year. We couldn't keep the quarterback from getting hit. Matt Ryan got hit 130 times. One of the most hit quarterbacks in the league last year. Of course, we had a young offensive line. We had Jalen Mayfield playing that left guard position. It was a rookie who struggled at sometimes. But hopefully, they're thinking that he's going to make that jump from year 1 to year 2. He's going to be a whole lot better. But however, That's why you bring in guys like a Kobe Gossett. You bring in a guy like Jermaine Fetty. You bring in a guy like Elijah Wilkins to compete with him and Caleb McGarry. And we can see how these guys can actually improve. Hopefully Matt Hennessy improved as well. From going from year 2 to year 3, hopefully he makes that jump. He played center pretty much for a full season last year, so we hope he can get in and actually be a whole lot better this year if the Falcons don't decide to boost their line. But they, like I said, guys, they're already bringing in depth pieces to create that competition. So that's what they did offensive line. The secondary, think about all the pieces they add to the secondary. They brought in Casey Hayward, Eric Harris, Dean Marlowe, Tez Tabor. They already had Kenneth Sheffield, AJ Terrell. They got Darren Hall. They have Avery Williams. And they got Richie Grant. And they have Jalen Hawkins. So the secondary is pretty deep. So they're building depth in the secondary. All right, talk about our linebackers, of course. You know, we just added, of course, we lost Fourier. We added Rashawn Evans to the mix. We already had Michael Walker, Deion Jones. We got Doran Etheridge that's out there. So the linebacker position, it's not really a big need. Of course, we can always get better from the standpoint of linebacker, but it's not a need. Wide receiver is one of the biggest holes that we had on this team. No, they didn't go out and get a number 1 receiver, but they got a lot of depth at receiver by bringing in Auden Tate, Cardell Hodge, Demir Bird. They already had Frank Darby and Olamide Zaccheaus. So just think about all those moves they made at wide receiver. So right now, wide receiver, that depth is there. So that's let us know what they're thinking. All right, running back. They brought in Damian Williams and Quadri Allison. They brought him back as well. They already had Mike Davis. And, of course, we brought Cardell Patterson back, who can play some receiver and running back. So, from that standpoint, I think the depth is there. We brought in a long snapper. Remember, we lost Josh Harris to the Chargers. We brought in our long snapper, so we signed Bo Brinkley, so we don't have to worry about that position. So, with all these moves they made, all the depth they added, it was some more needs that we need. One of the biggest needs that we needed was pass rush. Right? We made a little move in pass rush. We made a pass rush. We brought in Lorenzo Carter, but of course we lost Dante Fowler, and a lot of these pieces. We still got Okundeji. Hopefully he make a jump from year 1 to year 2. But we could say that pass rushers probably still a need for this team. So they kind of get your mind spinning. They could be looking at a pass rusher to start the draft off at number 8. All right. Long term playing at quarterback. Of course, we've been hearing all these rumors going around about a Malik Willis. Of course, there was another rumor going out about Desmond Ridder being at number 8. I even heard a rumor about Kenny Pickett as well. So, long-term playing at quarterback, or they're thinking that way. And the last thing is, we still, like I said, guys, we still need that number 1 receiver. So, are they going to actually go ahead and get that number 1 receiver at number 8? So, based on all these moves, the way I'm thinking, the one area they did not freaking address like they should have is the defensive line and the pass rush. All right, no depth there. We have some pieces right already on the team. I get that, but we got rid of Tyler Davidson. We brought in Anthony Rush for a big depth piece, but I really believe we don't know what John Cominsky is going to be about. We don't know if Marlon Davidson can stay healthy. So we got Grady Jarrett, and then we have the other rookie. I can't think of his name. The other rookie we drafted last year. That's probably going to be a whole lot better this year as well. So I think if these guys If they're thinking what I'm thinking, defensive line is a big need. Now the question is, do they feel like the class and the depth in the defensive line is it deep enough not to go at defensive line at number 8? All right, is the pass rush deep enough in this draft so they won't have to go pass rush at number 8? Remember, the Falcons got 5 picks in the first 82 picks, so I'm pretty sure they can get some depth in some of those spots that we just mentioned: a defensive line, a pass rush, a receiver. Can they get value depth in those pieces? All right, which leads us to the other need that they wanted to get was quarterback. Do they feel like one of these quarterbacks in this draft is their future quarterback? Do they feel that way? So one thing that interested me about Terry Fontenot and this regime is he always talk about he's not going to reach for needs. He's not going to reach for needs. He's not going to reach. Kind of shows that about the decisions they made with the players they brought in, because like I said, a lot of the needs that they had, they filled those in the free agency with some of these guys they brought in. So they created that depth. So that depth they created. So it's not really a real need at this point. They can actually go out and not try to reach for so we just got to get this guy because we don't have nobody to play this role right now. They don't have to worry about that because, like I said, they built the depth they needed in pretty much all the positions, except, like I said, the defensive line. We really didn't address the defensive line and the pass rush. We signed 2 players for each. One for each. We signed Anthony Rush for defensive line, and then for the pass rush, we signed Lorenzo Carter. So, like I said, he always talks about he's not going to reach for guys. But the question I want to know is, does that mean for quarterbacks as well? Because from everything I heard, from everything I seen on film, if you take a quarterback at number 8, it's a reach. I mean, it's really no other way you can actually look at it. A quarterback in this draft class at number 8 is overvalued. And we talked about this. If they think that he's their guy, he's going to be the future of the team, so I guess you pick him. But is it really a need for quarterback right now? That you're going to actually go out and reach for a guy that needs a lot of work? I mean, a lot of these guys, do they have potential? Yes. I think Malik Willis has a lot of potential to be a great quarterback in this league. But at number 8, usually, to me, when you picking guys in the top 10, you want those guys to be starters. I know quarterback position is different, but when he talk about he's not going to reach. So I wonder, does they apply for all the positions except quarterback? And if it does, we're going to find that out on April 28th. Because if the quarterback's there that they want, and like I said, we've been hearing about a Desmond Ridder, we've been hearing about a Malik Willis. If one of those guys are there at number 8, and they feel like they need that guy because he's the future of their franchise. If they pick him, I guess when they talk about they're not going to reach, I guess it didn't apply to quarterbacks. And that's how I feel about it. So at the end of the day, based off the moves they made, from my standpoint, these guys gotta go defensive line or pass rush. It's definitely going to be value there. They won't have to reach at number 8 at a defensive line and pass rush. It will be somebody there in that position, in one of those positions, to get great value. So that's just how I feel about it. I'm really interested in what you guys think. Do you think that based off these moves, do you feel that defensive line and pass rush is our biggest needs? And the needs will line up with the value of the player that's going to be there at number 8? Or do you think they're going to reach for a QB because they feel like their quarterback is going to be the guy for the future? Like I said, guys, we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know what they're thinking. And at the end of the day, for them, that quarterback might not be a reach. That quarterback could be the top guy on their board. And to them, they didn't reach for him because he was their number 1 guy the whole time. So I wonder would they tell us that if they decide to pick a quarterback? Yes, he was our number 1 guy on our board. That's where we were going the whole time. Pretty sure that's what they would say. But if you're just looking at the talent in this draft, I don't think any quarterback is a top 10 quarterback. So I would look at it as a reach. And like I said, as far as their needs that they need defensive linemen, they need pass rush. And it lines up to the value of one of those players that will be there number 8. So that's what I would do. However, I'm just a real Falcon fan wondering what's going to happen. Now, if these guys go out and pick a Desmond Ridder or Kenny Pickett or even a Malik Willis, which I can kind of understand because of his upside. Like I said, the storyline, him being from Atlanta, playing at Roswell High School, playing with A.J. Terrell, coming home. I guess I can see that to sell tickets to the fans because this year's everybody thinks it's going to be a down year. But if they was to go pick a Kenny Pickett or Desmond Ridder at number 8, I might have to start questioning what this regime going to be all about. Because I just don't see that based off the move they already made this offseason. I think they made great moves so far. So for them to go out and actually make the moves they made and then reach for a QB that definitely is not ready to play this year. Definitely is not ready to play this year. And take him at number 8. For me, I just would want to know what happened, because I think if you're going to pick a QB at number 8 this year, it was higher talented QBs in the draft last year. You could have took one of those guys. So I'm just going to have to question where this regime is coming from if they do that. But I just don't see it based off the moves they made. I could be completely wrong. At the end of the day, like I said, I don't know. But I'm definitely interested to see what you guys think about that. Are these guys going to reach for a QB, or are they going to go ahead and get the value they needed at the positions that would definitely help this team this season? So that's all I got, guys. You let me know what you think. I'm really interested to hear you guys' thoughts. So this your boy Ricondo, come back at you with another video. Peace.